This is a classic design for a small men's bag. In my country, we call tashka. It has two compartments, large enough for your wallet, for your documents, everyday items you usually carry in your pockets, or even a small tablet may fit in here. It also has a front pocket here and an easy access outside pocket at the back. I recommend you use 6 to 7 ounces of vegetable tan leather for the back here, for the front, the flap, the middle divider, the strap holders, and the strap itself, which leather is a bit stiffer and will give structure to this bag right here. For the gussets, however, and the back of the front pocket, I used light leather, which can fold easier. It's 4 ounces of vegetable tan in my case, all right? Chrome tan will also work. You're also going to need a buckle to close the flap, 2 D-rings, 2 swivel hooks, and a 1 Sam Brown button for the shoulder strap here. So, when you're ready to start, go download the patterns using the links below. Open the PDF file with Adobe Reader, free to use, free to download, free to everything. And then choose actual size from the printer settings, and then go ahead and print the file. You can use A4, legal, or letter size. Doesn't matter, all of them will work. Most important thing is to check that actual size box in the printer settings. The first page will contain a couple of boxes with the actual sizes to help you make sure your page is printed at the intended size. If you're unsure it printed properly, use a ruler to check any of the sizes included in this test page. The second page contains a breakdown of all the pattern pieces, which can be a useful guide when you're assembling the larger pieces spread over multiple pages. The last page is a copyright advisory. Nobody reads, there for legal reasons, but the main thing is it states that you can sell items made with my patents as long as you don't mass produce them. Thank you very much. Back to the pages we just printed. Go ahead and put together the larger pieces we were talking about earlier using a regular masking tape. At this stage, you don't need to cut precisely on the lines, so leave a few millimeters along the black lines, all right? Let's start by cutting the front pocket panel and the gusset pieces. You're gonna need about 2 square feet of 4 ounces of vegetable tan leather in my case for all these pieces, but like I said earlier, as long as the leather is soft enough, chrome tan leather will also work. I will use masking tape once again to stick the paper onto the surface of the leather. Alternatively, you can use these paper patterns to make reusable cardboard patterns, but I will only make this little bag once, so this will work best in my case. Now, the stitching holes are all spaced at 6 millimeters. So if you have a multi-prong spaced according to this distance, it may speed up this next process. Nevertheless, once you reach the curves, a single puncher is absolutely indispensable. For the next step, have a sharp blade available, and if using cut blades, these can actually be very easily sharpened. I'm gonna leave a link to this sharpening device down in the video description, along with a lot of other useful links. Next, carefully cut all the leather pieces out of the leather. Now, try and keep your fingers away from the direction your blade moves. I'm talking out of a very painful experience. For the rest of these pieces, you will need about 3 square feet of 6 to 7 ounces of vegetable tan leather, or anything that's stiff enough, including, of course, a long strip for the strap, for the shoulder strap. Once you have everything cut and every stitching hole punched, we can start putting everything together. And we're gonna start with the buckle strap, this guy right here. But best to let my fingers do the talking. Remember to insert the buckle keeper before you stitch the strap to the front piece here. If you want to get the exact same hardware we used for this very bag, we actually sell everything we used in this tutorial in our hardware shop. Once again, a link below. Next, we need to stitch the 2 small side gussets here that will give this pocket depth. Let me show you exactly how. Once both are stitched in their place, fold them slightly off the middle so that the stitching lines match, just like I'm doing here. This is the front of this bag ready. Let's leave it on the side and focus on the middle gusset, this guy here. Please don't get intimidated by this shape. I am notoriously famous for making leatherworking easy. So let's make this easy. We're gonna start by attaching everything in the order I'm going to. Once you have the two symmetrical pieces that look like a boomerang of sorts, bring the piece labeled middle divider and place it in between the two gusset pieces. It's easy to match them because of these 7 holes parallel to the main stitching line here. After you match one of the ends, like I did in this next part, go ahead and start stitching. I'll see you when you get to the corner here. Okay, right now there is nothing special you need to do. Simply match the stitching holes from the gusset pieces to the stitching holes on the middle section like you've been doing so far, and carry on with your stitch. Like I said, nothing particularly hard about this build. Once you're done, use some sandpaper to even out the edges, especially around the corners here. Then bevel the edges and apply some burnishing gum to give that edge a nice glossy finish with your wood burnisher of choice. Alternatively, you can apply edge paint as well. Entirely up to you and up to the leather you're gonna be using, all right? At this stage, I recommend attaching the two D-ring straps, these guys right here, all right? These guys. You could do this a bit later, but it is much easier if you do it right now. Moving on, grab the front piece we were working on before and attach it to the middle section, all right, along this stitching line here. The middle section is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which side you use first. Once the front is attached, let's do the same with the back. Mind you, the back piece has a pocket piece, all right, as well, right here, which can actually go on the inside as well, if you like. I like easy access to at least one of my pockets So I placed it on the outside. So let's go ahead and stitch these two pieces to the main bag, and we'll continue with the flop after. Don't forget this stitch here at the top. Last thing before we attach the flap is the closing strap right here. So go ahead and stitch that in place next. The flap will fit nicely right in here in our last stitch of the build. Your bag is done, but it needs a strap. So let's go ahead and make one next. Before you cut this long piece here, maybe measure your height from hip to shoulder and back to make sure the strap is not too long, but not too short either. We do have 3 adjustment positions at one end here, if need be. Well, this is it. Your bag is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.